are good. You are good at your stuff. You need to stop thinking that you're not. You need to stop downplaying your successes. You need to stop holding yourself back. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 things that I feel every lady in her 20s should know, as well as 5 books that every lady should read. The first thing I think ladies should know in their 20s is that money making is not gender sensitive. By that, I mean that the skills and the technicalities involved in making money and in acquiring wealth has nothing to do with your gender. So if you are not working towards financial freedom or working towards gaining, more financial knowledge, it is not because you are a lady. It is simply because you have not invested yourself in that. It is simply because you have not learned how to make money. I feel like we have gotten to this place in the society where we feel like, well, you know what, it's okay for me to make money as a lady, but just not too much. So if a guy makes money, it's normal. Like, it's what is expected from men and of men. But if a lady makes some money, that seems to be an achievement, and that shouldn't be so. We need to normalize making money. We need to normalize learning how money works. These things are not ingrained in anybody's DNA. It's not gender sensitive. It has nothing to do with you being a woman or a man. It's just an issue of stereotypes. It's an issue of our mental state where we just think and believe that we are not just up to it and we just can't make money. So I feel like ladies in our 20s, and one thing I have learned as a lady in my 20s is that I can make money. It just has to do with me. It's about me and the steps I'm taking and the mindset shift and doing the things I need to do to ensure that I gain every form of knowledge that I need to gain and acquire mastery in whatever skill I need to acquire. The second thing ladies need to know is that you are enough. I posted this on my Facebook post some time back. Ladies need to understand that we are worth it. You are worth it right now. Even when things are messed up, even when things don't seem to be going your way, you are worth it. Because many times we feel that until we become something, we can't be worth it. We feel we need to become something to be worth it. But being worth it doesn't have to do with what you become or what you have. It has to do with who you have. And you have Christ. And because you have Christ, you are worth it right now. I remember as a teenager, I really wanted to gain some weight. Not because I was really skinny, but it kind of felt like I had not reached my full potential when it came to the curves and the shape and all. And I felt that if I just put on some more weight, I was going to, grow into the curves and all of that. So I really wanted to add some weight. So I felt that I was going to be okay when I added weight. Like it was going to be fine. I was going to be beautiful. I was going to be enough when I added weight. And I've come to understand that that's not true. You are worth it right now while you're working towards your goal. Don't ever let anybody make you feel that you have to do something more, or you have to do something extra, or you have to be more to be worth it. You are worth it right now even when you don't know where your life is going. You are worth it right now even when every other girl around you seems to be achieving or doing something great and you just don't know what you're supposed to do with your own life. You are worth it right now even when there's so many pimples on your face and you're doing the whole skin treatment and all of that. Don't feel that until you become, you are not worth it. Right now, even in the mess, right now, even when you are so unsure and so uncertain and in doubt, know that you are worth it now. The third thing that ladies should know is that you can beat the impostor syndrome. I talked about this syndrome in one of my videos, but just as a brief recap, impostor syndrome is this syndrome where you downplay your successes, where you kind of feel that you are not good enough and you feel fake. You kind of keep having this feeling that you're going to be exposed for who you really are. You feel like a fake and you feel like your successes are not really yours, like you don't deserve the things that you have achieved in your life. So one way or the other, you don't accept compliments, you don't own the compliment. You kind of find an excuse or a reason why you shouldn't get compliments from people for things that you have rightly done. Studies have shown that women are more likely to suffer from the imposter syndrome, and personally I think that this syndrome affects us more in our 20s. It kind of starts from the teen age, but then I think that when we start coming out to life and facing life and we start expressing ourselves, the syndrome just really begins to come into full expression, right? So if you've ever refused to submit your entry for an online competition just because you felt you weren't good enough, even when somehow you knew that you can write, probably there's an essay competition or something, you just refused to do that because you just felt, you know what, I'm not good enough. But you've been writing all your life, and what's the harm in trying? So if you've ever refused, to submit an entry for an online competition just because you felt you weren't good enough, that's imposter syndrome. If you have refused to apply for a particular job, even when you read all the things they require and you notice that you meet all the requirements, you are qualified, just because you somehow think that you're not good enough for the job, then that's imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome plays out in so many ways, especially for us as ladies. We need to believe more in ourselves. Overcoming and beating this syndrome has to do with a drastic mindset shift. It has to do with us coming to that place where we understand that we are enough and we own everything we have achieved. We own all our successes. We are as good, as smart, as intelligent as every other person, whatever gender, race, class the other person is in. Self-improvement is something that we cannot do without. We need to keep improving ourselves. However, it is important for us as ladies, as women, to understand that we are good. You are good at your stuff. You need to stop thinking that you're not. You need to stop downplaying your successes. You need to stop holding yourself back. Go and apply for that job. You may get in, you may not get in, and many times it won't be because of your gender. You're getting in or you're not getting in will not be because of your gender. You're just the one holding yourself back. Go and submit your entry for that online competition. Go do the stuff you want to do. There's no harm in trying. The worst thing that could happen to you is that you fail, and it's not going to be because you're a woman. It's just going to be because you still have something to learn, and you go ahead and learn it. Point is, stop holding yourself back. So these are 3 things that I want every lady in their 20s to know, because they're things that I am trying to learn every day and renew my mind about every day, and I just want other ladies to join me on this journey. So 5 books I think every lady should read are: 1. The Smart Money Woman by Arese Ugwu. The book is by a Nigerian author, obviously, and she tackles, money as it affects the Nigerian market, as it affects the Nigerian woman. It's written in a story form, so it's an interesting read, and then you're going to love the characters. You're going to be able to relate with the characters, or relate to, many of the characters there. One way or the other, you could find yourself in one of those characters. The second book, Rich Woman by Kim Kiyosaki. Why I really love this book is because it approaches money from the perspective of a woman. So she outlines the things that hold women back. She deals with all the issues that we have as women, the things that stop us from investing. When I was done reading this book, I kind of suddenly felt like, this world of investment is something I can go into. It's not that hard. It may be, something that I need to really learn and read about, but it's not as complicated as I think it is, because many times we feel that it's just too complicated for our brains to handle. However, there's nothing special about our brains or less about our brains. We have exactly the same brains as every other person, so we can learn about money. So reading Kim Kiyosaki's books helps you, it ignites this spark inside of you to actually start taking deliberate actions, start being intentional about your finances. Book 3, Gay Girl, Good God by Jackie Hill Perry. Now, this book is for everybody. I don't think it is just for girls, okay? But then I think that you would be able to relate with this book a whole lot if you're struggling with homosexuality and you're trying to get free from that, as a Christian. This book is something that would really bless you. This is a story of Jackie Hill Perry, a girl or a woman who used to be gay, but then comes to Christ and God transforms her and changes her. Okay, so it's a book that you should read if you're struggling with homosexuality as a girl. However, it's a book everybody can read. My friends, we all read this book and it was really amazing. It makes you fall in love with Christianity. There's a way Jackie Hill Perry writes about God and Christianity that just makes you think about your life again as a Christian. It breaks Christianity down. It is a book that everyone should read, especially the ladies. Number 4, Girl Stop Apologizing by Rachel Holis. This book is a self-help book that I feel every woman, any woman can read, but I'm just really glad that I read this book now, in my 20s, because I think that the knowledge in that book is very useful for me right now, while I can still make a lot of changes, in my life. It is a book that teaches you that you can be anything and everything as a woman. It is a booster for your self-esteem, for your self-confidence. It helps you to see that you don't have to apologize for who you are. You can own your flaws, you can own your mistakes, you can own your successes. It's just a really wonderful book. It teaches you how to organize yourself. It teaches you how to manage your time. It teaches you how to do all the things that you have been called to do. The fifth book, The Masterpiece, by Francine Rivers. And this is a novel. If you've read it, great. If you've not read it, you should. This is centered on Christian romance and sexual purity and finding the right guy. I think that it's really amazing. It's an amazing book, that every Christian lady should read. Actually, it's a book everybody can read, but I can really relate to it as a girl, as the girl, in the book, in that kind of situation. I feel we would learn a whole lot about sexual purity and about honoring God in our relationships from this book. So these are my 5 books, that I recommend for every lady. There are a whole lot more. I have a whole lot more recommendations, but I think I'm just going to keep that for subsequent videos. So I hope you've been blessed by watching this video. If you've been blessed, please click on that subscribe button and hit the bell so you can get notifications when I post new videos. Until I come your way next time, this is bye-bye.